Hello and welcome to another Crafter's Toolbox. Today I'm going to share with you how to make a rainbow with only 3 colors. And we'll be using Distress Oxide inks to do this and some blending tools. And I thought I would add in a stencil to the mix just to show you how you can make this amazing effect that I did in a card that I recently featured on my blog. So we're going to add in that extra layer, but if you just want a plain rainbow effect. You can do this without the stencil. This is just a little added level of fun to our paper crafting. So with a stencil, of course, you always want to tape it down. I have some 140-pound cold press watercolor paper underneath here. Let me just get this all in place. And I'm just going to use some tape to tape this in place. These are just some sample pieces, but I probably will use them on a project eventually. So I'm going to start with the yellow. We're doing this in rainbow orders, so red, orange, yellow, green, blue. And if you haven't figured it out yet, we're using primary colors. So this is wild honey. We'll be using candied apple and salty ocean. So I'm just going to start with the wild honey, and I'm going to go in the center. And as I add in my layer here, I'm going to do this layer pretty thick because it has to blend with the other colors to make our yellow and our orange. So it takes up about half, but it's right in the center here. And I'm not worried about the fading because that's all just going to blend together. So very simple. You start with your wild honey, not difficult. Next step isn't difficult either. So I'm going to work now from the top down. So this is the candy apple. And I'm going to start from the top so that I get in my pure red before I get my blending tool into the next color. So I have beautiful red on the top. You can add as much as you want to that. Now I'm going to start moving in. And when I move into this yellow here, and my stencil is moving because this is a smaller piece. No. Okay. You're still going to see the effect. Okay, so once we have this in here, see now, look at the yellow and the red is blending together to make a fantastic shade of orange. All right, finally, we'll end this up with some salty ocean. And we'll work that from the bottom up. I'll make sure to hold this. Actually, you can flip the whole thing around and again work it from top down if you want. There, get this in place. And again, you're going to want to make sure you have your blue color done as much as you want and then move into the area where it's going to start blending with the yellow because the green will push up as well. And it's that simple. And you can see that even though this yellow was half of this space, it really lost quite a bit of it along the way. So there's really just this little yellow strip in the center. And if I wanted to, I could come back now with my yellow and just kind of blend everything together. Now, when I take my stencil off, you're going to see this beautiful rainbow shaded piece. If you want, you can go and add water like I did on the sample here. And I'm taking off the tape here because I want to show you something else. Now that you have this whole thing inked up, and you don't even need to add any extra ink, it's got fingerprints on it. No big deal, right? So I can keep it like this. I can spritz it with water. So let's spritz this with water and I'll show you what that looks like. And you can see that just depending on how much you spritz it, the water is going to make this ink travel. And you can end up with beautiful blended watercolor effects and just go ahead and dry it with your heat tool. Or you can do the third thing. And actually what I have here, I'm just going to put down the stencil and you can see the red, orange, yellow, green, blue on the leftover on the stencil. I'm going to spray the stencil, and now I'm just going to take my watercolor card and put it right in here to grab the color. And look at that beautiful, subtle look. So you can see that you can get lots of different looks messing around with stencils in your distress inks. And of course, today we focused on creating a rainbow with just their 3 colors. So we had the candy apple, wild honey, and salty ocean. And it's that simple. You can have a stunning background in a matter of minutes. I just added a little stamp and some sprayed on some of the picket fence and some gold, and this card was done. I hope you enjoyed this technique and that you utilize it sometime soon. And when you do, please make sure that you're sharing it out on my Facebook page, or just hashtag it with hashtag PM Retreat and I'll find it. I'd love to see how you're inspired by the Crafter's Toolbox. Until next time, happy crafting.